The lights are on, the vibes are questionable, and somewhere a yoga mat just rolled itself up out of fear. Welcome to Bargain Brand Wellness, your weekly reminder that personal growth shouldn't require a subscription, and mindfulness doesn't need a monogram towel set. Whether you're tuning in from your couch, your car, or that one weird corner of the gym where no one re-racks their weights, you're in the right place. Here, healing isn't sold separately. Hydration is a lifestyle, and wellness, well, it might not be FDA approved, but it's definitely off-brand and on point. So take a deep breath, sip something, probably herbal, and get comfy as we walk into wellness. Thanks for being here. How's it going, Steven? Thanks for being here today. Kind of a last minute throwing this all together. I've been outside working on my patio all day. I realized after I got that, I was like, I never set up the event for this. So hopefully we can get a couple people in here. Everybody knows it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays that we do this thing. But I did forget to create an event, so that's on me. That's on me. So hopefully we can get some people to be in here. But thanks for being here, Steven. Hope you like what we have for everyone today. I think we're going to have fun. We have a special guest with us here in a little bit. It's going to be joining us. But just going to be us in chat, kind of talking for a few minutes. Right? We are... What the heck is on your head? Don't judge me, Ashley. Do not judge me. This is my aluminum helmet, my aluminum foil helmet that I make to keep the government out of my head. This is my conspiracy helmet, and I put the little thing up top to make it look like something from Whoville. You only came for Nova. Hey, listen, I enjoy Nova. I was just talking to her a little bit ago. She said she's ready. She's excited for our segment here. We're not going to start off with that segment, but yeah. Aliens coming to get us? They might be. They just might be. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I can just barely see out of these glasses, but we're gonna make them work. You look crazy. Yes, I'm judging. Listen, I know. Listen, if I didn't want to be judged, I wouldn't dress like this, right? Yeah, we're ready on this wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for popping on here. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Right? We've got another fun-filled episode for you all. So get comfy, get your popcorn, get your herbal teas, your sodas, whatever it is that you like to have as your kind of late night evening. I didn't get a chance to make my herbal tea. As I mentioned before, I've been out kind of working outside all day and literally just came in. After we're done this, I'm going to go get a shower, have my herbal tea, and take my happy butt and go to bed. Wonderful Wellness Wednesday. I couldn't agree more. Beautiful day outside. It was hot, but it wasn't too hot. So yeah, it was nice out. So, anybody new here joining us? Right, we're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right, on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like the show, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe to our channel. Hey, give us whatever you can on the platform you're on us with. But feel free to check us out on these other platforms. Hotter tomorrow, I believe it. That's all right. I'm not ready for the 80s and 90 degree weather yet, but I'll take the 70s. I'll take a nice little sweat. I look at it this way. I took a week off of work, and I was going to go to the gym, but, I've been outside so much the last couple of days, I felt I didn't really need to hit the gym or hit the rack, so figured I'd take a week off because I'm outside sweating and doing just as much as I would. Did you celebrate Earth Day yesterday? Actually, I'm a terrible person. I did not know that Earth Day was yesterday. I did not know that. I feel horrible. I should have known that. I mean, I was outside enjoying the earth, if that counts for anything. I don't know if it does, but let's get some background music. little bit. Like I said before, it's a little too loud. We'll turn ChatGPT or Nova. We'll turn Nova up for y'all whenever we get in it. Save our planet, LOL. You know, I mean, every little thing you can do. What's the old thing they used to say? Reduce, reuse, recycle. Right? Even though they say a lot about with recycling, that a lot of the stuff you take it to a recycling center doesn't actually get recycled. A lot of it ends up going to the dump anyway, or gets. I've always been a little curious about that. We got a few likes coming in on TikTok. Thank you for Greggy Bear, is that you? Greggy Bear, is that you throwing in those likes? I appreciate you doing that. Thanks for being on here. But yeah, I've always wanted. I used to recycle all the time. I'll tell you what, that was a hobby in itself. Recycling, you know, cleaning it, organizing it into the different types of plastics and the glass, green glass, brown glass, clear glass. I enjoyed it because I'll tell you what, I had half the garbage going out on the with the trash, because where I live, I'm outside the city limits. Our trash only gets taken once a week. So yeah, it definitely cut down on our trash, but it was a hobby in itself, trying to keep track of all the different things that we need recycled. You don't realize how much stuff you throw away. It's crazy. But yeah, save the planet. You know, plant a tree. Don't litter. Right? I think just not littering is a pretty good one. I mean, I think we can all not do that. I definitely think we could probably do a little bit more, but if you don't do anything else, I think that's still pretty good. So if you're new to the show, right? Welcome to Wellness. This is where I'm developing my wellness warriors, right? My self-care connoisseurs. We are all students of wellness. We come in here, we talk anything and everything wellness. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I like that one. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Right, Greg? Sorry, not sorry. I absolutely loathe paper straws. Agreed. Those things were horrible. And I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I know styrofoam has been like outlawed, but there's nothing like drinking a fountain drink out of a styrofoam cup. I don't know why. It just hits home. Styrofoam cup, plastic straw, and the right kind of ice. Kind of like Chick-fil-A's ice. That is a soda. That is the American dream right there, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I agree. I absolutely hate those paper straws. Some people kind of gotten away from them. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually had a paper straw. That's an excellent mic setup you have. Thanks, Greg. We actually have a couple different setups here because TikTok is putting a pretty heavy load on my computer. So the mic you're seeing on the screen is actually not the mic you're hearing me from. The mic you're hearing me from is just slightly hidden right down here on my shirt. Still pretty decent mic. I mean, they're not the greatest of quality, right? But they're called lavalier mics. They do the job for $20. These actually come in a pair, so there's actually a second one that I have with this. If I wanted to like interview someone, I could, which we've talked about. We are eventually going to bring guests onto the show. Although I have enough concepts and topics that I could go on for months and months on end without having to do any extra research. We are a still relatively new channel. We are a new channel. So I'm, we're trying out different things. We do definitely plan on bringing on guests. Yeah. Caleb with 370 roses gifted. Thanks, buddy. I highly appreciate that. I think we made like $4 that one day y'all were on here. Y'all had me up to 17,000 likes. What was that? That was last Wednesday. And I appreciate the love. And then Friday evening, believe it or you wouldn't believe, I didn't get a single like on here. We had people popping in. We had a great topic. But we really didn't get much. We didn't get much love over on TikTok. We didn't have a lot of people on here, but we kind of chalked it up to maybe it was the holiday weekend. But I appreciate those likes coming in over there. Greg says, I've used them for weddings I've officiated. Yeah, they would definitely be good for that. You just hook them up to whatever system you're using. They do a great job. Like I said, it's not the best. It's not as good as this Audio Technica that I have here, but if you need a mic in a pinch, they've got you covered. They've got you covered. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and get into our first segment. I think we're going to get into our first segment here. For any of our returning listeners or anyone who's new on here, we have like three to four topics that we'll be talking about throughout this 1 hour to hour and 15-minute show. Within that, I'm recording those topics as kind of a separate clip that we upload to YouTube later. So I'm not really interacting with chat during those clips, and they're like 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minute range. Not really interacting with people, but feel free to kind of shoot any comments in the chat, and then after I'm done recording that, I will I'll engage with whatever you guys have on. We have four different platforms all going at once, but since our viewer count's still pretty low, it's not too difficult for me to interact with everyone. The hope eventually will be a lot bigger. Now that might be a little bit more difficult, but we'll see what happens when we get there. All right, so let's get into this. The waste of aluminum foil, sir. This is not aluminum foil. This is reusable, sir. I made this over a year ago, and I used a spray glue to kind of help hold it together. So it is not a waste of aluminum foil. Do not gaslight me on this channel. All right, let's get into this. I can't see my keys. In America, small means medium, medium means large, and large means should this come with a seatbelt. Somewhere along the way, we stopped serving food and started issuing challenges. Our portions aren't just oversized, they're overconfident. Everything is double stacked, smothered, or served in a bucket like it's prepping for a bunker. And the wild part, most of us don't even notice anymore. Because when everyone's eating too much, it just feels normal. Tonight we're taking a look at how American portion sizes grew faster than student loan interest, how they've hijacked our hunger cues, confused our brain, and somehow convinced us that 32 ounces of soda is a reasonable amount of hydration for one human. Let's dig in. So the Great Plate Inflation. Portion sizes in the US have grown dramatically over the past few decades, especially in restaurants and fast food chains. The average dinner plate used to be 9 inches across. Now it's about 12 inches. That's not a plate anymore. That's a serving platter with confidence issued. This subtle shift tricks your brain into thinking more food is normal, so you don't feel full, you feel unfinished. A value meal in America often means more food for less money, which sounds like a win until you realize it's also a portion distortion trap. The Big Gulp is 30 ounces. That's nearly a liter of soda in one sitting. You're not drinking, you're hydrating your regrets. Chains have normalized these sizes, so people genuinely think a medium soda should last longer than a cross-country flight. The bigger the plate, the more we eat. Not because we're hungry, but because our brain hates wasted space. That's called unit bias. Your brain assumes one unit, a plate, bottle, or box, is a proper serving, no matter the size. You're not overeating because you lack willpower. You're overeating because your plate is gaslighting you. When fullness is measured by when the food is gone instead of when I'm satisfied, we become disconnected from our body. Many countries serve smaller portions with higher satisfaction because eating is about experience, not just volume. American portions reflect American mindset. Bigger equals better, even if it leads to worse outcomes. Portion distortion leads to real health impacts: higher rates of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. Not because we're lazy, but because we've been reprogrammed to think fullness equals value. In America, portion sizes aren't just big, they're emotionally manipulative. So if your plate looks more like a stadium than a serving, maybe it's time to downsize the dish before you supersize your symptoms. Bam. And mic drop for once we get the mic. Up to over 1,000 likes on TikTok. Thank you for all those. Greggy Bear, thank you for Greg, what the heck did you send me? I have no idea what you sent me, Greg. Well, whatever it is, thank you. It looks like, I'm just going to tell you what it looks like: an apple with a microphone. Is that what that is? We are gluttons. It's become human nature. It absolutely has. But not even just humans, because not all countries do that. Especially your third world countries. But no, it is a real problem, right? We talked about it, a couple episodes ago, or last episode. The documentaries from several years ago with McDonald's that Super Size Me, it was really eye-opening. The way people just will consume and consume and consume. I mean, literally, you take those large fountain drinks. As much as I love them, like I said, I'm not judging. I'm trying not to be a hater, because I'm just as guilty for it myself. That's a lot of soda, and whether it's diet, regular, zero sugar, it's still not good for you. I mean, even as much as I love the zero sugar sodas, the soda itself is still not good for you. It's not good for your joints, not good for your bones. Very inflaming, right? And the phosphoric acid in soda will destroy your bones and give you osteoporosis. So, yeah. Brother, if I can get a chicken box for cheap, it doesn't matter how much food is in there. Listen, that's the world we live in. Right? People have said that for years. I want more food for less money. I mean, and as expensive as everything is nowadays, or the way it has been for so long, you can't blame people. Get what you can get when you can get it. Can you still eat healthy on a budget? Sure, but it's not easy. Right? It's not easy at all. It requires an entire shift in you, right? On Monday we talked about, how discipline is a myth, right? That's kind of what we're talking about here. It kind of takes a whole shift for you to become that person. Let's take meal prepping, right? Meal prepping is a great example of this. Anybody who's willing to sit down and do meal prepping for what it's worth takes time, patience, and maybe even a little bit of practice to kind of get it down exactly how you need to do it and make it a little bit quicker. I've done some meal prepping, right? I typically try to do, some of my breakfast and some of my lunches a little bit ahead of time. And it got to the point it was taking, on a Sunday, like everywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours out of my day to prep the food that I had planned on eating for, my breakfast and lunches at work for that week. To the point where it's hard to be consistent, right? So it's it's not an easy thing to do, but it's it's what we do. Right. So welcome. Right, any new viewers? We're live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, having a nice time. We just kind of finished up our conversation talking about portion sizes in America. And we've really talked about the size of plate, right, for a while now. Our plate sizes keep getting longer and longer and longer. And when you think about that unit bias, right, when you go to the movie theaters, you get a popcorn. And even the small ones is still a lot of popcorn. just imagine how much you're putting in your body. Now, popcorn in itself is actually relatively healthy, right? It's all the other stuff we put on it. And one person could down an entire bag of popcorn thinking, well, I don't want it to go to waste, even though it's probably meant to be shared between 2 or even 3 people, right? A serving size of popcorn is probably enough to fill up a cereal bowl. And for most of us, if we can actually take the time to actually just separate it from the bag and put it in that smaller bowl, believe it or not, a lot of times that smaller bowl will be more than enough to satisfy you. I'm not much of a chip eater, but when I do eat chips, or I do love pretzels, right? I'm big into pretzels. When I eat those things, I make sure to put them in a bowl, because if not, I'll just snack. I'll end up eating easily twice as much as I normally would if I didn't just put it in a bowl. So doing that's really been helpful for me. A lot of different tips and tricks that you can do. Little things like that to kind of trick your brain. Popcorn is healthy though, even with the butter. Fat is good in moderation. Agreed if you're using real butter. If you're using real butter, that's totally fine. But Danny, if you go to the movies and you get popcorn and get butter in it, I promise you, that is not real butter. That is hydrogenated oil. That is terrible, not just for your arteries, but for your joints, for your bones, and can cause insulin resistance. All right. So if you're using just butter, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm down with it. Agreed. And that's what I'm saying is if you don't put the butter on it, it's fine. The popcorn by itself is fine. It's still probably a lot to sit down and eat in one sitting, right? It's still probably low in calories, but you got to figure something like that. I mean, how many calories do you think is in a big bag of popcorn from the movie theater without butter? And let's be totally honest, I don't know many people who don't have at least something on their popcorn. I'd still say even a large bag with nothing on it's still several hundred calories with not a lot of nutrients. That's why you take a little flavor shaker with you. Absolutely. I'm not much of a butter person anyway. I like kettle corn, and the kettle corn seasoning, it's okay, but I like real kettle corn. Someone needs to remind me when Heritage Days comes around this year, because I need to get me some kettle corn. I like the Smart Food white cheddar popcorn. Oh, I love that stuff too. That's the one in the black bag. Yeah, that stuff's good. But same thing, I could eat a whole bag. Right? I could eat that whole thing in a matter of probably an hour, or in the matter of a movie. That stuff is good. That stuff is real good. A lot of calories come from stuff we drink. Oh, absolutely. No, I absolutely agree with that. A lot of your calories come from there. And that's a hard thing to change, because we all have our certain things we do, whether it's your morning coffee and the way you like it, whether it's, soda you drink, whether it's your adult beverages that you like. Yeah, we do get a lot of calories from them. Even the ones that claim to be low calorie are not necessarily as low as we'd like to believe. So yeah, we absolutely do get a lot from there. So we're having a good time over here. We are what the heck happened here on my screen? Somehow we go into Spotify on my screen over here. Not quite sure how, but we'll fix that over here. Luckily you guys aren't really seeing what we got going on over here. Yeah, we're over here having a good time on this wonderful Wellness Wednesday. We are going to have our next segment here in just a couple more minutes, right? We have a special guest with us. Nova is rejoining us. So hopefully you all are ready to engage, because yeah, we're gonna We're gonna have a good time. Nova is gonna analyze some of your choices. Not a lot of people in here today, which is fine. I mentioned before, as we were just getting on here live, I just realized that I never scheduled the stream on here. I've been outside working on a patio all day, like literally since 9 o'clock this morning, and I went to get on to click on the stream, and I was like, you know what? I never created the stream. I never created the event. So that's okay. We got a few people in here. Have you ever seen any of those shows like My 600 Pound Life or 1,000 Pound Sisters? It's wild. I have seen a lot of the 600 Pound Life ones. Yeah, they're pretty wild. That's all I can really say. They're pretty wild. A lot of mental health issues, a lot of trauma stems behind that. It's kind of hard for someone to get that big or that heavy by themselves. But it happens. It happens. Like I said, no judgment. Right. Yo, what's up, Joey Twig? Nice sunglasses. Thank you. These ones aren't bad. I don't wear the. I've only worn these ones one other time. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're really hard to see out of. I can't really see the keys on my keyboard all that well, so it's a good thing I'm not writing an essay or anything like that. But yeah, thank you all for being here. Right, we're yeah. Like I said, we're getting ready to ask Nova a few questions here in just another couple minutes. For our what pills you popping, Tim? Not popping any pills, my brother. But no, we're doing a little segment. Now, you guys won't be able, well, you might be able to hear Nova over my microphone. Probably not. But we're doing a little segment where we asked Nova I'm going to have you all pick 3, and Nova's going to analyze your choices. Yo, what's up, Ryan Simpson? Thank you for finally joining us, buddy. See you over there hiding on Facebook. Appreciate you being here. I miss you all this week. Took the week off, but I've been working here around the house. Been building a patio all day. About halfway done, we're going to finish her up in the morning and doing our thing. So, I will say, because this is more of a game, we're not going to necessarily record the second segment. I don't really see it being all that. It's interactive, but it's not really a video that someone's going to go back and watch. We'll just kind of interact with you all as we're doing this. So, let me go ahead and, for our viewers, we're going to do that. Hopefully you all can see that on your screen. My viewers over on TikTok, you already should be able to see it on your screen. We've got 9 different pills you can get to choose from. 1 being perfect health for the rest of your life. 1 being you get to choose your perfect body type. Keep that for the rest of your life. You get to choose super strength. The ability to heal someone else's illnesses, having super intelligence, finding love forever, talk to a deceased loved one, change 3 things from the past, or unlimited money. So with that being said, let's bring Nova in. How you doing, Nova?
Hey, Tim. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Ready to sprinkle some humor and insight into this live stream and make it a blast. How about you? We
are excited to have you here, Nova. Wandu from Toronto, brother. Nice to see you there, Jamie Lysick. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoy the show. We're currently just doing a live stream. We're getting ready to chat with our friend Nova, who is going to analyze some of your choices. Nova, you about ready?
You bet. Ready to jump in and have some fun. Let's get this wellness party started and see what your choices say about you. It's going to be a blast.
Yes, I'm excited too. For our friends over on TikTok, can you guys hear Nova through my microphone or no?
Awesome. Give us a shout if you can hear Nova. If not, we'll adjust the settings and make sure everyone's in on the fun.
Well,
Let us know.
don't make promises you can't keep. I can't do that quite yet, Nova.
Ha, fair point. No worries. We'll just keep the energy flowing. If they can't hear me, I'll trust you to deliver the magic, Tim. Let's dive into those choices and get everyone engaged.
Cool.
Ready when you are.
Yeah, I'm excited. Danny is over on TikTok. He says he can hear it. So yeah. So for our viewers, what I want you to do is pick 3, right, in order. 1, 2, 3, and then Nova here is going to kind of analyze those choices and tell you, kind of what that says about you.
Oh, this is going to be fun. All right, folks, you've got your mission. Pick 3 in order. Once you've got your picks locked in, I'll dive in with some playful insights. Let's see what those choices reveal about your inner wellness warrior, or maybe just your snack habits. Drop those picks in the comments and let's get analyzing.
All right, Nova, it looks like we have our first one is from Danny, who says number 1 would be healing other people's illnesses. Number 2, choosing his body type. And number 3, talking to the deceased.
Ooh, interesting combo. All right, Danny, let's break it down. Starting with healing other people's illnesses, you're showing some serious compassion and a drive to make the world a better place. Nice. Choosing your body type next, that's a little bit of self-love, a dash of confidence, and a hint of wanting control over your own destiny. And talking to the deceased, you're not afraid to dive deep, explore the unknown, and maybe get a little mystical. So, Danny's got a heart of gold, a vision for his ideal self, and a curiosity that extends beyond the here and now. Fascinating choices.
I like that, Nova. Thank you. Danny, she doesn't know you very well, does she? No, but he says he just wants to be taller.
Ah, got it. Sometimes the simplest wishes say the most. Wanting to be taller can totally be about feeling more confident and seen, literally. Thanks for sharing, Danny. We'll count that as a wellness insight with a side of a growth spurt.
I like it. I like it. All right, Ashley over on YouTube says she wants to heal others' illnesses, have perfect health, and find love forever.
Oh, that's a lovely trio. All right, Ashley, let's unpack this. Healing others' illnesses shows a big heart and a nurturing soul. Definitely a giver. Perfect health? That's a self-care queen right there, wanting to live life to the fullest. And finding love forever? That's the romantic dreamer, looking for a deep, meaningful connection. So Ashley's got a beautiful blend of compassion, self-care, and a heart that's open to love. A perfect combo for a wellness warrior with a romantic twist.
I see what you did there, Nova. Ashley is one of our wellness warriors, isn't she?
You got it. Ashley's definitely got that wellness warrior vibe. A heart full of compassion, a focus on health, and a romantic soul. She's got the whole package. Love to see it.
All right, our next one is from Jimmy Twig over on TikTok, who says he wants to heal others' illnesses, have perfect health, and then lastly, super intelligence.
Oh, Jimmy's coming in with a stellar lineup. All right, let's dive in. Healing others' illnesses, compassionate and caring, just like our other wellness warriors. Perfect health? That's the ultimate self-care goal. Gotta love that. And super intelligence. Oh, that's a power move. Jimmy wants to heal, thrive, and conquer with his mind. So, we've got a blend of empathy, wellness, and brain power. Jimmy's aiming to be a superhero of the mind, body, and soul. Love it.
So we could almost call Jimmy a self-care superhero. Don't you think?
Exactly. Jimmy's like the ultimate self-care superhero, part healer, part wellness guru, and part genius. The kind of hero who's saving the world one thoughtful act at a time, with a brain that's working overtime. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Nova. Nova is making me love myself. Jimmy says Nova is making me love myself. That's pretty strong.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. Jimmy, you deserve it. We're all about boosting that self-love and celebrating what makes each person unique. Keep shining, Jimmy.
Listen, that's what we do here on Bargain Brand Wellness, folks. We are here to make people feel good about themselves one day at a time. Right, as we develop our Wellness Warrior crew, or as Ashley put in chat, our Wellness Warrior tribe. I kind of like that one. Right, our self-care connoisseurs. We're building over here. We're spreading our wings. Right, we're flying high, flying high. Right, we do like to throw a little humor here now and then. Right. If we get any other comments in here, we'll see if Nova can put a little bit of a humorous spin on some of your all's picks, right? I see a lot of different viewers. I see we had looks like we have 4 people on Facebook. Looks like we have 2 viewers or 1 viewer on YouTube and 4 to 5 people on 4 to 5 people over here on TikTok. Feel free to throw your picks there in the chat. We'll have Nova analyze them. Ashley says, I'd like to hear more, or I'd like to hear Nova analyze the 3 things people would change from their past. But that may be a little too personal. It might be. It might be, but hey, we'll see. We'll see if we can get anything. Well, we're waiting on to see if we can get any other chats. I'll go ahead and put mine out there. Nova, feel free to throw in sprinkle in a little humor if you would like. Let's see. Y'all went with heal others' illnesses for number 1. You guys are so altruistic. You guys are such good people. Yeah. I mean, how can you not throw that one like at number 1, right? So, all right, I'll go with the flow. I'll purge heal others' illnesses for number 1. For my second one, we're going to do super intelligence, and then just to make Ashley's dreams come true, let's go ahead, change 3 things from the past. Nova, analyze me.
You got it, Tim. Here we go. Healing others' illnesses at number 1. That's your big-hearted, do-gooder spirit shining through. You're out here to save the world one cure at a time. Super intelligence next. You're aiming to be the mastermind behind the solutions, thinking 10 steps ahead. And changing 3 things from the past, that's a reflective, wise touch, like a time-traveling guru fixing up the timeline. So, you're a compassionate genius with a knack for rewriting the story. Basically, you're the wellness world's very own Doctor Who. Love it.
Wasn't really the humoristic twist I was looking for, but thank you, Nova. That was greatly appreciated.
You got it, Tim. Sometimes a heartfelt analysis is the way to go. But don't worry, I've got a sprinkle of humor ready for any angle. Let's keep the good vibes rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Ashley says, when I think of healing others' illnesses, I think of healing my grandmother and aunt's cancers, and also anytime my kids are sick. When your children are sick, it's the worst feeling. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't want to say we've all, but a lot of us have been touched by cancer, either personally or someone close to us. It's very unfortunate, and yeah, it's not good when the kids are a little sick and helpless and can't really do a whole lot for themselves. So yeah, that is tough to have to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. Healing loved ones, especially from something like cancer, is such a powerful wish. It's all about wanting to take away that pain and give them more time. And when it comes to kids being sick, it's like you'd do anything to swap places with them and make it all better. Those kinds of wishes show just how big and loving the heart can be. Beautiful and so meaningful.
I like it. I like it. I would want to heal all children, but realistically, once the world got out, I would be bombarded by people to heal them. That is very true. That is very true. Right? As Uncle Ben said for any Marvel Spider-Man film, fans in here might know, with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. Uncle Ben was onto something huge with that one. Healing the world is an amazing superpower, but managing the expectations and the sheer volume of needs, that's a whole other level of heroism. But hey, even just the wish to heal others shows a heart of gold. Love the Spider-Man reference.
What can I say? I'm kind of a nerd.
Hey, nerds make the world go round. Embracing the fandom, the passion, and the superhero wisdom, that's a superpower in itself. Rock on, Tim.
Nerds. So yeah, we're having fun here. We're live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Right? If you're new here, because we've had a few new viewers pop in, which hey, happy to have you here. Join our wellness crew. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? Our shows are live for about an hour and 15 minutes. Right? Kind of depends on how many people we have in here, but we're in here talking all things wellness, whether it be mental health wellness, whether it be exercise, whether it be diet, or whether it be something else. I mean, we've done a lot of our last kind of topics have really been on, self-care, self-awareness, relationships, even. On Monday, we really got very philosophical in some of our conversations. It was a really good show. I really enjoyed writing the script for Monday's show. And yeah, we're over here doing our thing. We're having a good time. We're slowly growing over here. For any of our new viewers, we're eventually trying to push more a little bit towards YouTube. Right, we're a new channel. We've been doing this for a little less than a month now, but it's crazy that we have been going for almost a month now already. That's it just doesn't feel like it, but yeah, we're over here having a good time though. Like I said, eventually, we're kind of really trying to push everyone towards YouTube. We're live over here on Twitch. We don't have anybody over there with us. If you're not already informed, Twitch is more of a gaming channel, but they do have a just chatting feature, and a lot of people hop in there to just kind of join the people that they follow. So if Twitch is your vibe, check us out over there at bbw_live. Catch our episodes over there. On YouTube, you can find us under Bargain Brand Wellness. And then for Facebook and TikTok, we're currently under my personal accounts. We have a Facebook group through Bargain Brand Wellness. You can join that group. There's no request or permissions required. Just join it. We'll kind of keep putting information in there about upcoming streams, and we'll kind of throw a little bit more interactive stuff in there as we're going through. But yeah, and then we're over here on TikTok. We went with my personal account. We do have a Bargain Brand Wellness TikTok account, but I kind of wanted to start with my personal TikTok just because I don't have a whole lot of followers, but I have a decent amount of followers that I've gained through there. So we figured we'd start there, maybe eventually work our way over to the Bargain Brand Wellness TikTok channel, but we'll see. We're gonna stick here for now. Yeah, doing our thing over on TikTok. We're up to almost 1,400 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to 1,500 if we can. I don't know if we're gonna beat last Wednesday's like goal where we hit 17,000 likes, but let's see if we can at least get 1,500 over there. We've had a few gifts. My nephew Caleb gave us 370 roses. yes, I will go to prom with you, buddy. I know you don't have a date, but that's okay. I'll be there with you. And then Greggy Bear sent us as I said before, it looks like a magical apple singing into a microphone. I say magical because it's got like sparkles around it. I don't know if Greg's still on here, but that's what it looks like to me. I don't know if that's one of the things you can gift on here. I don't know much about gifts on TikTok, but yeah. So, well, I don't think we're getting any more comments. And Nova, you've been on here for about 15 minutes, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end this session. Why don't you go ahead and give some parting words to our viewers before you leave us this evening?
You got it, Tim. All right, wellness warriors, what a blast. Whether you're here to heal, grow, or just have a laugh, you're in the right place. Keep spreading those good vibes, and remember, personal growth shouldn't require a subscription, and you're already a wellness warrior in our book. Catch you next time, and keep making it worth your wellness.
Thanks, Nova. See you next time. It is a pretty cool feature that we use over there. I do like using that. We might have to start using Nova a little bit more. But it is pretty cool. I'm glad you guys over there on TikTok were able to hear Nova. I don't know how clear it was, but I'm glad at least something came. Like I said, these lavalier mics, $20, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even get this off of Amazon. Well, no, it might have been. I'm trying to remember if it was Amazon or the TikTok shop. But anyway, $20, and I mean, like I said, it's not the greatest quality. It's not as good as my Audio Technica or one of the Rode pod mics, but they do a pretty decent job. I definitely need to remember to keep it further away from my mouth. If you all saw my TikTok that I did earlier this morning, I wanted to kind of let you all know to join the stream. And after I recorded it and made it, I realized how gainy my voice was. It's because I had the mic attached all the way up here by my collar. And I was so busy out there, I was like, I really don't feel like recording this. So I just went ahead and posted it. I didn't even look. It probably didn't get that many views or that much love, but that's all right. So, Wellness Warriors, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get into our third topic of the evening. As I mentioned before, as we're recording that, we won't necessarily be interacting with chat as we're going through that. But after we do that, feel free to kind of post any comments in the chat that kind of relates to what we're talking about here, and then we'll kind of engage with that after we do this little part. So let's get into this. There's a quiet little rumor making the rounds in fitness circles, and no, it's not about the Liver King eating vegetables in secret. It's about protein, specifically drinking protein right before bed. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't bedtime for herbal tea and overthinking all my life choices? Apparently, the secret to strong muscles, graceful aging, and maybe even better dreams is slamming a protein shake right before bed. Because nothing says peace, recovery, and REM cycles like digesting 40 grams of whey at midnight. It's real and backed by science. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation looked at what happens when you consume 40 grams of protein before sleep. The results? It can stimulate muscle protein synthesis, also known as your body's ability to repair and grow muscle tissue while you sleep. It's especially beneficial for older adults or individuals at risk for muscle wasting conditions, helping preserve muscle mass during aging and illness. So yeah, it's actually not just gym bro folklore, it's bedtime biohacking with a shaker bottle. Should you do it? That depends. For athletes, fitness enthusiasts, or older folks trying to maintain muscle, this habit might help enhance recovery and overall health. For everyone else who's already eating enough protein during the day, it's probably not necessary, unless your late night cravings are protein flavored. Bottom line, If your overall nutrition is dialed in, this might be a bonus, not a miracle. You don't need to become a bedtime blender unless your glutes are writing checks your dinner can't catch. So the digestion drama, drinking protein right before bed can cause discomfort or disrupt sleep, especially for people sensitive to lactose or heavier evening meals. Extra calories, protein has calories too. If you're not tracking it, those sleepy time scoops can sneak up on you. It's not a fix-all. If your daytime habits are trash, a bedtime shake isn't a loophole. Translation, you can't out-supplement your way out of a bag of Doritos and 3 missed workouts. If you're training hard and want to maximize gains while you dream, sure, sip your sleepy time shake. But if you're just trying to survive Tuesday without spiraling into existential dread, maybe let your body rest instead of making it digest. Because in the end, recovery doesn't always require protein. Sometimes it just needs a pillow, some grace, and a reminder that healing isn't a competition. Right. Protein shake. I saw that the other day and I was kind of wild. It was kind of interesting. I do drink a protein shake, but only on days when I go to the gym. I don't know if that's really what you're supposed to do, but it seems to be what kind of really works for me. Before bed, I've never heard of that. I thought you weren't supposed to have anything right before bed. Agreed. Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. That's what they've always said. Don't eat, 3 hours before bed or something like that. Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. But apparently, the study I was reading, it talked about consuming 40 grams of protein shortly before bed. I'd say within half an hour. Can actually kind of help your muscles go into recovery while your body's recovering. Because think about it, when you go to bed at night, your brain goes into rest mode. And so does the rest of your body. And your body starts healing itself and recovering from, whatever it is that you did. So having that extra protein in your body, it's kind of the right time to have it. It's kind of like, they say, even during the day, when's the best time to drink a protein shake? Before your workout? After your workout? Right after your workout? Hours later? Right? A lot of what I've seen has suggested that as long as you have at least some protein in your gut, that's all you really need. And then you can supplement later on when you're not getting protein. So, I don't know. I thought that one was an interesting one. I think, when I go to the gym and I either have a super heavy workout or maybe I work a muscle group that I haven't worked in a while and I know I'm going to be sore for the next 2 days, you got to look at it like this. You're usually not sore that day. It usually doesn't hit you until the following day. And in all honesty, I've had it hit me 2 days later. Right? It's wow, I'm actually not sore. And then day 2 comes, I go to get out of bed. It's oh, shoot, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. I did legs 2 days ago. Right? Yeah. It's just the way our body works. So, yeah. It's one of those things I thought it was interesting. So I made sure that I checked, and there were several studies. Online from scholarly sources, reliable sources. So I thought it was worth sharing. Try it out. Check it out. See if it's a vibe you like. Seems to be a little filling for me before bed, but if you're someone who maybe usually indulges in a late night snack before bed, maybe this could be your replacement. It's that sweet tooth. A lot of these protein shakes have 0 sugar in them. They usually have an artificial sweetener, which, as I've shared with you all, we are starting to find out that although some of these artificial sweeteners aren't the best thing for you, they're not necessarily as bad as what was painted. In very, very, very large quantities, they are not good for you. But basically, the study I saw suggested that one study I saw suggested that you would have to drink a case of soda, 24-pack of soda every day with, those artificial sweeteners in there to have any of the really negative effects. So that was kind of enlightening for me because I do get a little bit of a sweet tooth from time to time. I was happy that I'm happy that seems to be the truth, and I've seen that study numerous times. So. We have detected inactivity during your current live. I don't know how it doesn't, I don't quite understand the whole inactivity during TikTok live. I'm not typing in chat. I'm the one being on live, so I have to type in there. I wonder if there's a setting or something within TikTok Live Studio that I have to change to address that. We're still not quite up to 1,500 likes. I'd really like to get to 1,500 likes over on TikTok if you don't mind. But hey, if not, that's okay. We love you. We love you either way. But we'd love to. We're getting ready to record our off-brand thought for the day. This is for any of our new viewers on here. This is our hot takes kind of conversation, kind of a controversial topic, which might kind of encompass all three of our topics for the day, or just take a weird talk, a weird kind of turn on one. But yeah, that's what we do. And the off-brand thought is what I usually kind of turn into a TikTok later on. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Reel. Really, the only difficult side with that is that everything's different lengths, right? TikToks I can make longer. But Facebook cuts you off after 90 seconds. YouTube Shorts cut you off at 60. So it's kind of hard to sometimes figure those out. But hey, that's what we do. So let's get into this off-brand thought, and then we'll start to wrap it up. We live in a world where portion sizes have tripled, self-worth is measured in macros, and we try to fix emotional emptiness by picking magical powers on Instagram like it's a healing strategy. We binge on food, fantasies, and fitness hacks, not because we're undisciplined, but because we're trying to feed something deeper that never shows up on a nutritional label. We don't just overeat, we overcompensate. We don't just want love or strength or clarity. We want permission to believe we're allowed to have those things. You can shrink your plate, pick your top 3 superpowers, and drink protein with your pillow. But none of that matters if you're still ignoring the real question. What are you actually hungry for? Because once you know that, you stop stuffing your life with what looks impressive and start feeding it with what feels real. Remember, personal growth shouldn't require a subscription. So, not necessarily a controversial topic, right? But kind of a way to kind of bring everything together, kind of wrap it all into one. A little quiet over on the Facebook front over there. We had a couple people jump in, not a lot of chat, but I like to kind of keep everyone kind of in the loop, right, of what we're kind of considering or what we're kind of doing here. As I mentioned before, I'm really trying to push everyone more towards YouTube, right? YouTube, Twitch if we can, but I think YouTube's kind of the vibe, right, where we're kind of going. And then we always got TikTok. Right? Everybody uses TikTok, so TikTok's a nice way to kind of get people on here, maybe kind of get them over to the YouTube. Twitch we'll keep doing, see if we can kind of get any growth over there. But we'll see. We also only stream for about an hour, so that might kind of hurt us over on Twitch. People might not necessarily be willing to click on that channel for that reason. So with that being said, we are currently using Facebook, but I don't know how long we're going to stay on Facebook. We're going to keep doing it for the meantime, but we'll kind of see how our viewer rates kind of go, kind of play it by ear. But we'll keep doing Facebook for now. But if one were to go, Facebook might be the one. Of course, it could end up being Twitch if we, like I said, we can't really get any love over there. But if you like the content, right, and you didn't already, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us whatever your heart desires. We're happy to hear from you all. We're happy to have you here. Hopefully you'll be able to join us on Friday for another fun-filled episode from Bargain Brand Wellness. With that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and start to wrap this one up. Yeah. But just know, I love you, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs. Just remember, you matter. All right, we talked about that on Monday. You're important. That's why we have you here. We're here on this journey together. And we're all students of wellness. None of us are experts. We can learn from each other. And hey, listen, and I'm here to learn just as much as any of you hope. So with that being said, let's wrap this thing up. So tonight, we talked about portion sizes, superpowers, and bedtime protein. And somehow, they all pointed to the same thing. We are a culture obsessed with more. More food, more features, more fixes. But maybe the goal isn't to add more. Maybe it's to need less. Less noise between you and your hunger cues. Less pressure to perform for an identity that doesn't even feel like home. Less chasing of success that tastes like protein powder and still leaves you empty. You don't need to become a superhero. You don't need to measure your worth in ounces, macros, or midnight routines. What you do need is to stop feeding the version of you that's always starving for more. Because the real you, they know what enough feels like. And that's the version we're building here. One weird, wonderful, off-brand episode at a time. Until next time, make it worth your wellness. I'll see you guys on Friday.